Whipping up all of your favorite recipes.
Simply Food.
You should know by now that you're in for a treat.
Simply Food.
There's no other channel where you'd rather be.
Simply Food.
Seafood, pasta, cakes, and pies. Sing and laugh and even cry. Like and share and hit subscribe. Simply Food by TY.
All right, y'all, so let's jump right into this recipe. Okay, now look, I know that I was supposed to put this out months ago, and honestly, I had no idea that I did not put this out. So I need to go on ahead and get to it right now. As you guys can see, I have 3 beautiful cucumbers that came directly from my garden, my organic garden, which I was very excited about. This is my first year growing any vegetables, so I was really excited to be able to put some of this stuff to use. So I have 3 large cucumbers here that we're going to use, and then we're also going to be using 1 large red onion. You can use half or the whole, that completely depends on you. We're going to use about 2 to 3 cloves of fresh garlic. We're also going to be using the juice of 2 large limes or more, depending on how tangy you want it. And then the star of this is the mother-in-law's gochugaru Korean chili flakes. Now, of course, you don't have to use this particular brand. Any type of Korean chili flakes will work. This is just a particular brand that I like. Gives it a great kick. We're also going to be using a little bit of premium fish sauce. And to give it an additional amount of citrus flair, we're going to add in some ponzu, which is... I became obsessed with this stuff after watching Steph and Tasha all these years. I'm also going to be adding in some oyster sauce, which is going to give it a great depth of sweetness and flavor. Now, just letting you know right now, when I did this recipe, I started off with a half a teaspoon of the gochugaru chili flakes. I'm telling you right now, this had no kick. So if you're going to follow this recipe as I'm doing it right now, just know this is going to be a very mild version. If you want more of a spice, you're going to need to add at least a tablespoon of those chili flakes, okay? So now I'm adding in about, I would say about 1 teaspoon to about 1.5 teaspoons of the fish sauce. Don't go too crazy with that because fish sauce is very potent, okay? I'm also going to go in with a 1/2 tablespoon of the oyster sauce. You don't need to add too much of that because we're going to be adding in a little bit of brown sugar later on anyway. So that is going to give it some additional sweetness. So just, keep that in mind. And then I'm going to add in about a 1/2 cup of the ponzu. Now we're also going to be adding in the juice of the limes. Now, like I said, depending on how tangy you want it, you can add in more, you can add in less. But I would definitely say because this recipe only really has, a minimal amount of ingredients, try to use as much fresh stuff as possible. Don't use that bottled stuff. It just don't do it. Now, once again, I'm only going to be using 2 here, but these bad boys did not have that much juice in it. So just, keep an eye on that. Now that we have all of the juice of our limes, then we're going to go in with a little bit of cilantro. Now, I know a lot of people are not fans of cilantro, so if you're one of those people, you can sub out the cilantro and you can put in parsley. That is completely fine. Don't stress yourself out about that at all. This is roughly, I would say, about 1/3 of a cup to about 1/2 of a cup. You don't need to go too crazy with it. Honestly, for me, it isn't necessarily more so for the taste, it's more so for the color. So once again, if you aren't a cilantro fan, you don't have to use it, just use parsley. Now, as far as the red onion is concerned, if you are a big onion lover, then by all means, go ahead and use the full onion. For me, in this particular recipe and for the amount of cucumbers that I'm working with, I'm only going to use about 1/2 of this, maybe a little over 1/2, because, that's just my preference. As far as the slicing, you want to do it into nicely thin strips. Once you get those all done, we're going to go on ahead and throw all of this all into the bowl. Once again, you guys, this is so, when I tell you, it'll probably take you less than 10 minutes to make this. And honestly, if you let it sit overnight, once you get everything mixed in, you can easily enjoy this the very next day if you really want to make sure that that flavor really seeps in to those cucumbers. I'm going to be using 2 cloves of garlic here. Again, you can use more, you can use less. The thing about making cucumber salads, or for some of you that want to be technical, if you want to make quote unquote pickles, it really is all about how you like it, how salty you want it, how sweet you want it. So you can adjust it as you go. I got those nice and minced up, put those in there. And then now, you guys, it's time to add in the brown sugar. Once again, how sweet you want it depends on you. I only put in about a half a tablespoon of mine. I wanted this a bit more on the tangy side, less on the sweet side. I'm not a big, sweet pickle person. That's just not that ain't my jam. I wanted these to have a bit more of a kick to them, which is the reason why I was saying, if you really wanted to have some spice, gauge the Korean chili flakes as you add them in. But just keep this in mind, you guys. The longer the cucumbers sit in this concoction that we've made here, the more potent it's going to be. So what might not be that spicy right now might be spicy later on once you got those cucumbers soaking it up. So, just keep that in mind as you go. Now that we have everything kind of mixed in, let's move over to my beautiful cucumbers. Y'all, can we just take a second? I am so thrilled that I actually was outside growing stuff in my garden, child. I could not believe that I actually successfully was growing things this past summer. Y'all, I had tomatoes, I had cucumbers, I had squash, I had all different types of peppers. I grew some basil. I also had cantaloupes, although a stupid bird or a turkey buzzard, I think, came and took my damn cantaloupes away from me. But nonetheless, if you have the ability to grow things out in your house, do it. It's so rewarding to be able to grow your own things, and especially because these were all organic. I used no pesticides, no nothing. So now that I got all of my cucumbers nice and mixed up, we're gonna put this in, give this a good mix around, and that's it. There really isn't much else to this, y'all. Like I said, you really wanna allow it to sit for about a day or at least a couple of hours, you guys, before you really can judge, what else you wanna add extra to it. But that's essentially it. Now, I'm also going to say this marinade that we just made also works bomb on fish. If you make that marinade and then pour it over some fish, be it salmon or whatever the case is, it's also really delicious. So, anywho, if you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Make sure that y'all subscribe. I am so sorry for not putting this video out literally months ago. I thought I put this video out months ago and realized that I never did. But I hope you guys enjoyed. It's super delicious, super simple. You can use this in many ways. Eat it by itself, eat it on tacos, do whatever you want. All you gotta do is just have a good time while you're in the kitchen. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all babies stay cute and take care. Bye.
Slaying in the kitchen.
Simply Food by TY.
We hope that you enjoyed it.
Simply Food by TY. If you haven't took the time, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Simply Food.